Going
All right,
in.
going in.
Jury's back. There we
Blue
go.
team's turn to ban.
All right, so I seriously doubt we're going to see Elsu.
Are you seriously doubt? Okay.
I
But
would
you know
be...
you just cast or curse yourself right now.
Yeah, it's okay. I do it all the time.
So we do have fans of both teams in chat officially. That's what you missed while you were gone.
Good.
Blue team's turn to ban.
Oh, Mina, okay. So Mina's good for Peel against Assassin. She's also good in Death Ball comps, teams that want to have big team fights. So, what will Pride start? Yebnith, okay. Another tank. So it looks like both teams are getting rid of tanks.
Is it the support elimination zone? We're just not allowed Chognar next? Oh, there we go.
Okay.
To ban.
So based on these bans, I very much expect PrideStark to go for a heavy assassin comp. So maybe 2 to 3 assassins on their team. So let's see if that pans out or if I cursed myself.
It looks like
Oh, no Elsu!
Roxy
To
gone.
ban.
What I would imagine, and it's a smart play, you show the
Oh,
Elsu
there we go. Yep.
to bait the other team into banning Elsu, and then
Turn to
Oh,
there you go.
got it.
Ignis.
Honestly, though, I think PrideStark's going to go assassin, so I doubt the iNFamous would pick Elsu anyways and do it. Because every single one of PrideStark's bans is like an anti-assassin type of a band. And then, of course, they first pick Crush. Nice, Aram gets through. That's good. And I know that's definitely a favorite of iNFamous and Lindis, yep. So that's definitely 2 of their comfort picks.
Liliana is a strong pick, regardless of who's playing him.
Yep.
What is Zune gonna play? Zune on the Zephies.
red team's turn to pick.
Should be a fun...
Man, PVL is not a fan of Roz. I'm surprised we haven't seen him. Like, Roz, I don't know, just whatever. But there we go. And more poke for iNFamous. That's good.
To pick.
Oh, there's your Chognar.
It's beautiful.
They
Neytiri
want to
is
support
a
them.
really... I think Neytiri is a great player. She was... she's formerly of ATF.
To pick.
And I think a lot of her. So I am curious to see her Chognar.
Oh, and Kali. Okay. Yeah, so iNFamous definitely went for... Well, okay. And as I say that... Oh, man. Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
There it
Give me
is.
the- Oh. So team comp wise, I like iNFamous actually a lot more. I'm really curious why PrideStark banned so many of the like anti-assassins only to take Zephy. But they did get the Malik, who in our prior series, Malik did well no matter what team he was on, so
Yeah.
that's something to point out. But I would also expect the side lanes to go to iNFamous, actually. And then mid is going to kind of depend on who's better at their micro.
10 seconds remaining.
The real point is going to be to watch Zune in the jungle.
Yeah. I'm curious why iNFamous went with Chognar, though, because PrideStark doesn't really have that much CC. I mean, most of theirs is very brief CC. It's not anything super long, so. But actually, maybe they took it so that... Well, yeah, actually, I don't know. Maybe they took it so that they couldn't get Aram, but... Who knows?
When you've got the slow from Chognar, the slow from Marja, the lockdown from Aram, Raz has CC. I mean, you've got you've got a lot that assumes you can move to make it happen. You need the Aram to not be slowed, to be able to get her, get positioned properly. I mean, I can see it. I understand why that wouldn't be the ideal
In 5 seconds.
choice, but
And
I think it can work.
interesting. Chagnar is going to be their support. Okay, so Aram's actually going to lane. And then on the other team, it looks like Malik is going to be the support.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Intriguing.
And we've got
Okay,
nice
invades
little,
happening.
yeah, on both sides.
And it's funny because this is exactly what happened in last week's video review. We discussed invades quite heavily. But in this
Zephyrus
case,
can
they
still
are
get
trying to
that.
trade. And they do trade successfully. I believe Lindis did get that. But Marja looks like she's going to die.
Oh, and that's going to be tough. Aram positioned well, but there's just so much damage coming in. She's not able to sustain it with her lifesteal. You got 3 from PrideStark just racking it up there.
Yep, they got that. Stole the red. Another kill. So
They got both buffs from the enemy jungle. And Violet's going to rotate down, start clearing hers. Most of her jungle is still up.
So Malik has still not bought an item, which is interesting. That might be some sort of strat I'm not familiar with, but I think it's more likely to be a mistake, I'm guessing.
Well, typically I go with Shuriken first on Malik, and you can call me wrong. But that's...
Oh, it's not even that. It's why would you not buy anything? He just bought his Knight's Plate.
He just really wanted the Knight's Plate.
Yeah, I guess. And Crash actually is going support item on their team as a second. Okay.
We got Chagnar.
Do you ever have plans to do post-game interviews?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Nice. I think that could be cool because I would love to see after the game why Malik did that.
Well, we did it a couple of weeks. We had the team lead hop on, but we did sort of roll away from that when we shrank the time per match, because it was originally an hour and a half per match, and we shrank it down to an hour, so it sort of eliminated the gap.
Gotcha. Okay, first dragon goes over Pride.
There's a pretty solid gap in gold. The INF team is pushing their wave forward, but they've got 3 going to catch them kind of in a bad spot.
Yeah. Fortunately, though, for iNFamous is the kills did not go on to Violet or Zephy, so that's definitely a good thing for them. Ooh, Marja almost taken out up top.
Yeah.
Let's see if Zephy's gets caught. Nope. Bottom, Aram and Malik. Just kind of both doing their thing.
1,700 gold differential in PrideStark's favor.
Yep.
So INF really needs to make sure they're on top of wave clear and just don't die.
Yeah, so fight looks like it's about to break out at Dragon.
Yeah.
Got 4 on both teams, kind of fighting for position over the river right now.
Yeah, Aram gets the lockdown on the Violet. Violet does live.
Nice.
Crest rolls right in. And he's got his ult. They're just pushing forward into the tower. I'm really waiting for Crest to just throw down.
Ooh,
now would be the time, and he drops it. Aram in a terrible position, and she's going to go down. And Crest just going to roll right up. Lindis is not going to make it out. And PrideStark really reckon with that one fight's going to be huge.
Yeah, that just built the gold to almost 3k advantage, and plus they should get this dragon guaranteed. So
They should, but they're not. They're not going for it.
Interesting.
They're focusing more on wave and just making sure they're getting the
Yeah.
gold from wave. But I'm like
I guess they did it because their jungler was top, but I mean, Liliana and Crush had full health, but I think they're just being safe. You know, it's kind of like don't risk letting iNFamous back into this game type of a mentality.
And on bottom, Arm and Malik are still there. Chognar rotates top with backup. They were not able to catch the Zephyrs out of position, and
if you notice blue, their blue jungle's being stolen. Buff and minions cleared out. Monsters.
and that's a huge point that any team can take away from something like this. If somebody steals yours, take theirs. If they're doing a 4-man rotation, there is so much of the map left open that you can take and totally negate everything that they're doing.
Preach! Yes.
Unless what they're doing is, pushing your top into the core, then you should probably not do that. But I've seen matches as well, where one team's pushing top, the other team's pushing bottom, and it's just a race.
Yeah. iNFamous is starting to do a lot better at just kind of poking and not like hard committing to fights. I think that is what happened that last time that kind of messed them up, is they hard committed.
Oh, but bottom tower,
Ooh,
Arm goes down. They're gonna get this tower. INF is really gonna have to respond somehow. They can take this mid tower, but it's gonna be challenging. Yeah, Chognar taking the damage. That was not ideal.
Yeah.
He's gonna be able to get away from the death ball though. Not your death ball, but the ball of death from Liliana.
I wish Lindis would use her traps more. I mean, she's barely setting them down. If you look at the map, she's basically only using them for damage. They're so valuable for scouting, though.
But the slow can be pretty vital in those situations.
Yeah.
And Crush,
It's definitely good to use them.
ult just ruining towers.
Yeah, but a note to everybody, ACS, you'll see this, or AIC, you'll see this a lot, is your tanks, like especially Malik's, engaging onto towers right before the minion wave. So to zone the enemies back and get 3 towers, and you saw it happen right there.
I
That was
really
great by Crush and Malik.
expect this to be a big game-shifting fight. But nothing so far.
No, PrideStark's definitely getting to the part where their build and their gold advantage is going to start kicking in. You can see Zephyrs is starting to do a lot more damage. I think we're hitting that. The snowball's about to really, really kick in. And for iNFamous, what I would like to see is Linda start setting up vision in their jungle so that they can see when PrideStark comes in to steal and then try to get an ambush. Like probably a +2 man advantage would be ideal.
Yeah, and PrideStark sees the bad positioning. They quickly rotate up, get into a better position, and that's gonna put them on the hunt for some kills. Zephys takes a lot of damage and is forced back out, and it ends up.
Tanks by PrideStark are doing so good.
Yeah, it ends up pushing the entire team back.
Yeah, they're just zoning really well. I'd like to see Aram use her S2 though when they're all clumped up in the jungle like that. It actually does a surprising amount of damage.
Yeah, but when you're not sure if they're gonna move right in for an attack, you need those You need the lines up at all times.
Oh no, but the slow and the stun is actually a lot better in the engage, right? Because then your team can pull back.
But it really drops your sustainability if you're standing on top of 3 of them. I mean, you need that health just to live. I don't know. You can play ARM a bunch of different ways. Yeah, that is a free Dark Slayer. They've got the dragon. Probably going to drop it up top and continue to push jungle and mid. You got Malik on bottom, and it's something you pointed out in the last series. Teams at this level are good about maintaining minion pushes at the same time, so that there's effectively no way to stop all 3 without splitting your team and risking a death.
Yeah, I hope they go to pressure top and then leave the Drake. Yep, and they're doing that right now. Nice.
That tower just drops almost instantly.
Yeah. That's another really good takeaway from these games, by the way, you guys, for Drake. Drop it in one lane and then go to a different lane is actually a very good move.
Yeah, and INF just taking so much damage so fast.
Yeah. This is all the tanks. Kresh and Malik just are, I mean, destroying iNFamous.
Yeah, and they've got 2 of the 3 high towers down. Core's going to go down before the 3rd does.
That is GG. 11 minute, another quick one.
And that's 12-1 on kills. PrideStark with a huge advantage. And just looking at it, you see the Zephyrus with 27%, Violet with 25%. The others all pretty well even. Kresh didn't have to do much in the way of damage, and really didn't take a lot of damage.
Yeah, because look at Malik, 30%, and look at that participation. I mean, that's about as good of a stat line as you can get.
Yeah.
91.7% on 12 kills, that's impressive.
So we can get ready for...
Yeah, I really like what you did there.
Ready for match number 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, going into this game, it's kind of same as the last series. I hope iNFamous takes late game heroes where they can just win one team fight, stall the game until like 20 minutes, take one team fight, and just win. Did I lose you, Jerry? Am I...
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm just talking to one of the other teams. They're asking me a question.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sounds good. I'll go into my own thing then. But yeah, out of that last game, I think some just takeaways for those of you watching who want to take it onto solo queue or onto the ladder. What the tanks were doing, the Kresh and the Malik for PrideStark, is something that is a really, really good thing to do, and you'll see it a lot in pro play, is when your team starts, when you want to take a tower, what you do is you wait for the minion wave when it's about to hit, and then have your tanks both hard engage onto the tower, right? And what they're doing is they're actually zoning the enemies from killing the minions, and they're also starting to take tower aggro so that their damage can come behind and kill your team if they try to clear the minions or try to defend the tower. So that tends to lead to easy tower kills, and it also often ends up getting you kills anyways, because teams, if they're not perfectly organized about how they respond to your tower dive, they will die. So that's something in this next match I would say, like, encourage everybody to look for PrideStark to do again. If I was iNFamous, I would either be selecting some of those hard engaged tanks, or I would be banning a lot more of the hard engaged tanks, because I think that's what gave PrideStark the big time edge in that last game.
Yeah, definitely. All right, well, match number 2. Here we go.
Blue team's
Oh yeah,
turn
and yes,
to
there's
ban.
definitely a difference in skill level. That's a for sure thing in Twitch chat. And then, yeah, if I have time, I'll talk more. Oh, never mind, we're diving in, but
Red
at the end I
team's
can.
turn to ban.
So I hope iNFamous drafts for late game, like they take Violet, they take a really strong marksman, so that they can just do a one team wipe and then push down, take down every single tower, and take the core just in one
Blue team's
death
turn
time
to
cycle.
ban.
So Ignis, Yebeth, just standard bans coming so far. Like I said, I hope iNFamous bans some
Team's
more
turn to ban.
heavy tanks, or I hope they pick them themselves. Mina again. Both teams don't want to deal with Mina.
Turn to ban.
Yeah, and so I think you were right. I don't know why, but you were right about the Elsu. Even though he didn't get banned, or did he get banned in no, he didn't get banned last game, right? And then he still didn't get selected, I believe.
Red team's turn
Who,
to
Elsie?
ban.
Yeah, Elsu.
Oh, he was... No, he did not get banned.
Yeah, he didn't, right? Yeah. So
Somebody acted like they were going to and didn't.
yeah, and they switched to Roxy, I think it was.
Yeah.
And Chognar taken off.
Red
Wow,
team's
I'm
turn
surprised
to
PrideStark
ban.
took off Chognar. I think Chognar was a bad pick last game, to be honest. And then I'm not sure why they wouldn't want him to be picked this game. Oh, did iNFamous miss a ban? Interesting.
Yeah, they did.
To pick.
So in net, okay, if they're gonna take a net, I really, really hope they go for poke comp. If they start picking assassins, I'm gonna be confused.
So what were you
Okay,
saying?
nice. Oh yeah, the Violet and the Slims. That's nice. Good. That's what I would like to see from them.
Team's turn to pick.
PrideStark did get crashed again, but thankfully iNFamous did get the Malik. If PrideStark wants to go for that heavy tank, the Aram, they could go for the Aram. Aram's really good at diving towers because she can ult one of the squishies and either kill them and live, or just die together with them, which is always a good trade. Okay, this I like, I'm so much happier with iNFamous's draft this game. Like, their comp makes 100% sense to me. They're all great at poking. Like we talked about, they're in a position where they can stall the late game, they can win one team fight, and they can just push down and end. And confusingly,
No else?
yeah, PrideStark's going for a very pokey comp too. They really like that Zephyrs, which is interesting, because, yeah. PrideStark kind of does have a timer comp, because Val, Zephyrs, and Lindis all do fall off later game. So I actually really like this. I think this was a great draft for iNFamous. If they are going to take a game off of PrideStark, I think this is exactly what they're going to need to do. For me, what iNFamous needs to do is just stall. Just try not to feed kills, try not to let PrideStark snowball early in the game, and then just wait until, around that 20-minute mark and just go for the
10
kill.
seconds remaining.
But what about you, Jerry? Thoughts?
I just feel like the Valheim. I've just seen too many Valheims wreck it in league play.
Yeah.
Just being honest, I am afraid of him in league play.
So I would expect him to go against Marja, and Marja can do well against him since she also has the range. And I believe her S1 actually outranges Valheim. They may be tied, but so that will be good. Another thing that I like about iNFamous's comp is no matter who's Dragon Lane, Malik or Marja, they both do well in team fights early because they have big AoE damage, so they'll be good at fighting over the dragon.
To arena. Get ready. Minions will be deployed in 5 seconds.
And I'm curious, yeah, see Mal, okay, so this time.
Prepare to engage.
I don't remember what player it was that was playing Malik last game for PrideStark, but two of the players on PrideStark are doing the they're not buying their item thing. Okay, so now it's only Zephy's. Okay. Yeah, another interesting note is PrideStark, the Kresh does not buy the Windstone, the tier 1 support item, as his first item. He actually buys boots first, so that's an interesting thing also. Nice. So this game, both teams opted to just get their own jungle. So if you notice, invades didn't go down. So that's great for iNFamous. Battling out. The lanes do end up Marja and Val in the Dragon lane, which makes sense for both teams. And then top. Malik can do very good in this matchup if he can get his S2 to hit the minions plus Zephy's to get that shield and then get trade damage.
Yeah, I feel like Malik with his cleave, if done properly, like you said, with the shield, will definitely win that overall.
Yeah, he can just kind of slowly chip away at Zephy's. But PrideStark has clear dominance over the river right now for the first dragon. Slims, I guess, is just giving up on it. If that's the case, I'd like him to go get Spirit Sentinel or get some sort of other value on the map.
But you'd think with the Liliana, with an Annette, I mean, even with Marja, you've got the poke to at least send a shot in and try to steal it.
Yeah, but PrideStark set up Vision really well. It would have been pretty risky. And like we talked about in the beginning, I think iNFamous knows that they just need to make it to late game without really feeding. So I think that's why they're not going to take big risks. And then also, Slim's rotation was a little bit off. That's why he had to go clear his blue when the dragon was up. So I think that was another issue.
Yeah.
I would like Annette to go back. To be honest, she's low to the point that it's not help. Okay, and she is backing. A question that comes up a lot, by the way, is when to back and like at what health level. I think at the point where you're going to give a kill and you can't really participate in a team fight, it's better to go back.
Got a huge wave of PrideStark up top.
Yep.
And they're
got
jumping in
Malik
on the
low.
tower.
Ooh, don't like that ult.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much of a chance there. Minions rotate right in. They're just going to be able to get that tower. Marja's got a nice little push on bottom, but it's not going to be enough to get her very far. She's going to bounce right back out. Still, PrideStark still pushing into the jungle, and they've got minions moving to the second level towers. Just jumping in, just taking as much jungle as they can, and they get out without any real loss at all. They're down 2.5k gold.
I'd also like to point out the Lindis difference. If you notice, Lindis now when she's in the hands of Zune, he's laying down traps on Spirit Sentinel. He was laying down traps top. So Zune's making a much better use of Lindis's traps. And see, notice, like, just threw a trap there near Dragon, right? So they're keeping bush control with those traps, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, and now, because of that trap, that's slow, right? And that's caught out, blows her ult. Oh
Still
man, they gotta
nearly
watch
died.
top.
Yeah, fortunately the siege engines aren't out yet, so
Yeah.
not going to take too much damage, but I mean, towers are permanent objectives that you need to maintain. And that being said, we've got
Ooh.
okay.
Lust on this Annette is not hitting stuff that, yeah, having some interesting casts. I would say another note for players is, like, be realistic about how good your micro is. If your micro is not that good, I would not recommend playing heroes that are really micro intensive.
I'm not really sure what happened there, but we lost connection.
Oh, yeah, I see on Twitch. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, back up. Apologize to the viewers. That's a first. But we are back. PrideStark continuing to push waves.
Yeah, at this point, iNFamous is kind of getting that almost panic mode. You can tell they're just not sure what to do. And
Yeah.
PrideStark's starting to kind of snowball it again. So what I'd like, hopefully iNFamous does, is kind of just turtle up, clear minion waves as quick as they can, try to secure jungle if they can do it safely, but be really careful about getting ganked in the jungle. That's where the majority of deaths are going to happen, when your team is behind. So, yeah, just kill minion waves quickly, and don't go too, like, I would not challenge this dragon even. They're just too far behind.
And Marja, fortunately, can escape from pretty much anything. But yeah, there was nothing good gonna come out of that.
Yeah. When you are down 1,000 gold for each minute of the game, so 7 minutes in, 7k down, you are really need to play passively.
Lindis is really getting those traps out there. Something
Yeah,
you pointed
she
out
is.
earlier. She's all over it.
Oh, and I see, like there's a good example. Annette blew a lot of her cooldowns on just kind of trying to poke the enemy instead of trying to kill the minions. When you're behind, the minions are actually more important. You're not going to have a strong chance of killing the enemy team because they're ahead of you, right? But the minions will at least keep your towers alive if you clear them.
Yeah.
So see here, there's like that. Okay, there. You need to focus the minions.
And I mean, Darkslayer's up in 5, 4, 3. I mean, it's
Yeah.
PrideStark's pretty much just steamrolling to a point that they can't contest that.
Yeah, they are.
They'll just be able to just roll right through. So, like you said, I mean, grab minion waves, grab whatever you can grab to get additional gold at this point. And outside of that, stay out of the jungle. Don't, in that situation, you definitely don't want to roll around as a team in the jungle because you're missing wave and you're missing gold.
Yes, and you're also face-checking bushes that could have the enemies sitting in them.
Yeah, well, true. Darkslayer is going to be down pretty quick. All but Valheim up top. Darkslayer goes down.
Yeah, PrideStark's playing this, like, by the way, PrideStark's giving a really good example of what to do when you're front running. So when you're ahead, if you notice, they went back, they cleared out all their jungle, they grabbed Darkslayer, because they know that ATF can't contest them out on the map. So they just farm. And now that 7k lead turned into a 10k lead. So when you're ahead, that's what you want to do. You want to keep the snowball going.
Yeah,
So here,
you got top wave moving in. Mid is a good ways back with the dragon now.
what I would guess that at PrideStark would be my assumption. If you know starts in its spots,
Yeah.
rotate around, which makes it very hard to defend both high ground towers. Yep, Crash, same thing, right? We talked about before the game. Tank hard engages to zone back. And see, that's where, Liliana, I wish you would be a little more aggressive in killing that minion wave. Honestly, even if you die to kill a minion wave at your high ground tower, it's worth it. Like, your death is worth keeping your high ground tower safe.
Yeah, but they're not going to be able to stop this wave. I mean, everything's down at this point.
Yep. But I think, just on the good side, I think ATF had the right idea that game. Like, I think they tried to do the right thing. Their draft was good. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, iNFamous. Sorry, I'm stuck in last game. But I think iNFamous did what they needed to do. Their draft was good. It gave them a chance of winning. They'd start out doing well. I think that first kill that happened, I think that was just where the game kind of started to unravel, and that's just more rotations.